Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
I think what concerned us the most was that it mushroomed. It was 1, and then it was 2, and then it was 20. And then a few days later, I'm getting them and my daughter. So they did this whole push.
There's a new prescription scam making the rounds. A pharmacy technician from Valley City contacted our whistleblower hotline after more than 20 customers came in hoping to redeem a text message promising a $0 copay on prescription meds.
As Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz tells us, those savings could cost you your personal information.
18-year-old Noelle Thompson works at New Cara Pharmacy in Valley City. She recently received this text message. Not because she works there, but because she's potential bait for a new pharmacy scam hitting her area.
I'm a good target. I'm young. Usually people from older generations don't think my generation is as smart. We don't think as much.
Thompson, who also buys her meds at the pharmacy she works at, is one of more than 20 fellow customers receiving this text.
It says your $0 cost prescription benefits, and then it's got information for a technician to enter in.
Free copays, yes. Oh, how excited are they? Yes. Then it gives me all the information that I, as a tech, need to enter into the computer so that we can use that card, and that's where the problem is.
The good news, there's no harm to the customer simply for receiving the text. The pharmacist has to enter those numbers into the system.
So we, as a reputable pharmacy, which I hope all are, know not to use these.
How would you know that it's legit or not?
They don't usually send out texts, first of all. The reps come in, they give us the hand coupons.
The bad news, a pharmacist could enter those numbers before you realize it's a scam.
It's a pretty cutthroat business. There's a lot of pharmacies out there. There's a lot of people with medication needs. And so if the pharmacy really wants to retain them in this very competitive market, they could run that for them, get them a discount on that prescription, and not even have to tell their patients that this coupon is going to sell your information.
But Cindy Spino says she hopes most pharmacies are trustworthy and wouldn't do this. She herself received the text, just like 18-year-old Noelle Thompson, who says her age group isn't the only one targeted in this scam.
I also think older generations are, because they don't know.
She advises anyone receiving a text like this to just delete it. In Valley City, Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
Pharmacy technician Cindy Spino contacted police, who referred her to the Attorney General in Bismarck, where she filed a report with the Consumer Protection Division. Now remember, if you need help with a serious issue in your community, call the number on your screen. It's our whistleblower hotline, 701-237-6576. Call that number and leave your tip. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it.
A man and woman arrested last week in connection with a missing persons case out of Wahpeton made their first court appearances this afternoon. 39-year-old Jason Jensen and 34-year-old Kayla Westcott are charged with second-degree aiding and abetting in the murder of 41-year-old Troy Yarbrough. Court documents today reveal that on May 20th, Yarbrough was hit over the head with a yard rake handle and then with an axe. Documents say that Yarbrough was then brought to a shed on the farmstead property and left overnight. Documents also state that when Westcott and Jensen went to the shed the next day, Yarbrough was still alive and that he was then hit over the head with a cinder block, killing him. Jensen claims Westcott was the murderer, but Westcott says it was Jensen. Yarbrough's body was put in a burn pit and later into a garbage bag and buried in the trees. Bond for Jensen and Westcott was set at $2 million each. It appears that no one was hurt after a fire broke out at a home in Dilworth. The call came in just before 5 this evening, and there was early word that 2 girls may be inside the home. That home is located in the northwestern part of town. The fire has been put out, and crews have been working on ventilating the home. There is heavy damage to the garage, but no word yet on what caused the fire.
Pretty quiet out there as we start our work week weather-wise. Let's check in with our chief meteorologist about the chances of any rain tonight. Hutch?
Well, if you're heading outdoors, bring the umbrella along just in case. Just spotty showers across the valley, but they're most concentrated in northeast South Dakota on a line up into parts of north central Minnesota. From time to time, we're getting a rumble of thunder, not expecting anything severe. An isolated cell down in southern and western Barnes County, also northern parts of Norman County across the river in northwest Minnesota. Also, just some scattered moderate showers of rain moving into Richland County. Now, we can't rule out a sprinkle here in Fargo, but the chances will be better to the south as we go through the evening hours. We'll stay in the 70s out there and remain cloudy as well. In Grand Forks, a few clouds, again, spotty thunder shower activity possible, but that all wanes as we head into the overnight hours. Looks like an unsettled week of weather ahead. I'll have details on what you can expect here in a few minutes.
And we'll enjoy it while we can.
You bet.
Thanks.
A 22-year-old man from Morton, North Dakota is dead after he was ejected from his vehicle after being struck by another driver in Richland County. It happened early this morning near Galchute, which is northwest of Wahpeton. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says the victim was driving a Ford Mustang heading north on Richland County Road 1 when a vehicle heading south, driven by 49-year-old Stephen Hutcherson of Walcott, North Dakota, attempted to turn east on County Road 8 and struck the Mustang. The Mustang came to rest in a ditch after the driver was ejected. The man was not wearing a seatbelt. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Hutcherson received medical attention but was not hospitalized.
5 people, including an 8-year-old child, were hurt Friday night in a 2-vehicle crash near Bemidji. It happened on Highway 71 south of Bemidji. State Patrol says a vehicle driven by 45-year-old Dolores Desjardins of Thief River Falls hit a vehicle driven by 39-year-old Amelia O'Loughlin of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Desjardins and her 2 passengers were treated for non-life-threatening injuries. O'Loughlin and her 8-year-old in her vehicle were taken to a Fargo hospital. State Patrol said they did not disclose the child's injuries.
A Moorhead woman is in jail after police say she tried to run over her ex-boyfriend after they had reportedly just broken up. The incident happened yesterday morning in the Shields Home and Hardware parking lot in Fargo. 22-year-old Alyssa Ginger was seen by a caller trying to hit her ex with a car. When police arrived, Ginger was gone. She was later found in Moorhead and arrested for attempted murder and driving under suspension. Her ex was bumped by the car, but he didn't need to go to the hospital. Ginger is expected to be extradited to Fargo this week.
Police want you to know about a high-risk sex offender in the Fargo area. 32-year-old Eric Hutchinson is living at 725 and a half 14th Street North in Fargo. It's just a few blocks from a soccer complex where children play. Hutchinson was convicted in western North Dakota on 2 counts of corruption and solicitation of a minor. The victim was a girl under 14. High-risk offenders are considered the most likely to recommit a disturbing crime.
When comparing crime in 2016 and last year, North Dakota Attorney General Wayne Stenjum says there is some good news, but also some areas of real concern. Drugs and child pornography are at the top of their list to tackle this year. The state saw a 60% increase in child pornography last year, a 19% increase in rape or gross sexual imposition. And for drugs, North Dakota saw a more than 4% increase from the year prior. In ranking order, drug arrests increased on marijuana charges, meth, and heroin. Stenjum says people trafficking drugs into the state is a concern because those people are usually heavily armed. Stenjum adds that a new website has been created that lets you see all of the raw crime data. The site also includes information about the victims and what the situation was. We have a link to that site attached to this story on our website, valleynewslive.com.
Big news involving the owner of Valley News Live. Gray Television has announced a $3.6 billion deal with Raycom Media. This deal would make Gray Television the 3rd largest television broadcast group with the biggest collection of top-rated TV stations in the country. Gray TV management expects the deal to be finalized by the end of this year.
We are constantly reminded not to drink and drive. So later on Valley News Live at 6, how much it'll cost you if you break the law.
Up next, what can be gained if your kids check out Camp Kindness.